following as example of if I was a salesperson in the oil and gas services industry, and let's assume that I was selling pumping equipment, and related to that pumping equipment, wanted to target some accounts, target some individuals that I could reach out to and see if I can sell either maintenance services or new packages to the individuals. So the sales productivity tools that I would use today, number one would be my CRM. So here I'm in my instance of Salesforce.com, industry leading CRM package. And one of the features of Salesforce is we add accounts. And I subscribe to a service and built the service called EnterLead, where we load all the oil and gas companies in there. And we also add regulatory information so you can segment the data. You can see how many wells have been drilled and how many facilities a company has. So in this particular case, I've said, give me a list of all my oil and gas companies that I want to take a look at, and I want to sort them out by how many wells that they've drilled. I know that I like to run campaigns. I like to segment this data because I've got almost 500 accounts that have drilled wells in Western Canada the last 3 years. So I want to focus on accounts that are specifically in and around the Grand Prairie area, and I'm building my list view on who's been the most active in this area. And I can see 7Gens is a company that I want to be focused on. So I then go in and I select the record 7Gens, and I can see some information related to 7Gens. And there's a couple different tools that I want to add on. So I've now used EnterLead to help me target the accounts that I'm looking for, my ideal customer profile. And then I'm now looking for contacts in there. One thing I see is this is a public company, so I can use something like a custom link that takes me to an outside party or outside product like the Google Finance. And then within Google Finance, I then have directors listed there. So these are people that a lot of them won't be on LinkedIn because they're so busy they don't want to get bombarded. But there might be some information there, some people that I'm looking at. I could then copy this information and put it directly into my CRM. But in this particular case, I'm in the pump business. I'm looking for somebody that's maybe a bit more rotary focused. What I've done is I've integrated my LinkedIn Navigator directly to Salesforce. One, I can look at some information related to 7Gen, the account, but I'm also going to come over here and I want to look specifically at individuals within there. What 7Gens allow, or what LinkedIn Navigator will do for me is make lead recommendations saying, hey, these are people that are in a similar spot that you're looking for. I don't see anybody that I want to go and speak to directly, so I can see there's 138 people at 7Gens on LinkedIn. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click that. And then I've got 138 people to look at, so I'm going to look specifically, I'm going to use a filter tool that they have, and I'm going to put in there, and I want to find somebody that has rotating and see if there's anybody that has rotating related to their title. In there, I found Randy Simpso, and then maintenance coordinator Penn West, and then he was looking after rotary equipment. Here he's a maintenance coordinator at 7Gens, so I'm assuming that falls into his portfolio. I'm going to take a look at Randy's record, and a couple things I look at when I'm here. Who else do I know that knows Randy? And then who else has been, what other people have been looking at Randy, and what other profiles have they been looking at? So these are other people that I may want to target in my instance of Salesforce. I've decided I want to put Randy into my instance of Salesforce. Over here, I'm using Google Chrome, and there's a product called Acquire. And then Acquire will allow me to come in here and take Randy's contact information and add it, update it directly into Salesforce on that side of it. So I can just press the button. That individual is going to be inside of Salesforce. I can come over to my instance of Salesforce after pressing the button, and here I find Randy, the maintenance coordinator inside of Salesforce. I can click on his record. Again, once I click on his record, I'm going to go in and take a look at other people that are related to him, and continue to add more people, because there's some stat out there that there's a minimum of 7 people in a large organization like 7Gen that are responsible for making decisions like who we're going to use for maintenance on our rotary equipment. So I know I need to add more than just one contact in there. I've made a decision that I'm going to go ahead and send Randy an email, but one of the things before I go ahead and send Randy an email, I'm going to go back to the 7Gen account, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to look at some of the different facility licenses that they've been putting in, and I'm going to look for areas, things like, okay, here's license amendments. Here's a gas battery that has 750 cubic feet of gas coming in, condensate and water. We can take a look at the different areas, Grand Prairie, the car field. Most of this has all just been maintenance work. And then here's some different companies that they're using from a maintenance perspective. So I'm going to leverage all of that information inside of my email. And one of the other tools that we have from an automation perspective is, because this is my first introductory email with him, I might want to use a template. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to select send an email, and then I can come over to my templates and say opportunity follow-up, and I'm going to add that in here. And then I might put in, we're an expert in the Grand Prairie area, in the car field. We do lots of pumping where there's condensate, sand, those types of things. All that information inside of my email. I'm then going to send that email to Randy, and then the system will automatically assign me a follow-up task that I can go in and follow up with him if I haven't heard from him. This becomes kind of a loop system. Again, when I've gone in and done this with Randy, I'm going to quickly go in and say, well, I'm going to go ahead and add a bunch more of these other people, and I'm going to send them a similar type of email, and it starts to give me some acceleration in the account, and I'm tracking all the activities that I have within that account. So everything that I've done, I can see what I've done, when I've done it, and what my next follow-up task is associated with it. So that was an example of what you can do with sales tools today, that if I was a rotary equipment person, a salesperson, and I wanted to target accounts, I could use my Enter Lead to find my ideal customer profile in the Grand Prairie area. I could click on it. I could use LinkedIn to go in and find a specific contact. Once I find that contact, I can use a tool like Acquire to add that particular individual directly into the system. I can use email templates to expedite the email process. And again, Enter Lead using some of the information to make reference inside of my email. And I can add 4, 5, 6 contacts and do all of that quickly to find out who is it that I need to be speaking to from a rotary equipment perspective. All of that done in a very short period of time.